everyone, and welcome to this Clergy Appreciation Week. Throughout this week here on CAC TV, we will be having programs towards appreciating and understanding the lives of our pastors. And I mean, around the world, this October is the Clergy Appreciation Month, and you can have a lot of creative ways in which you encourage your encourager, because your encourager, your pastor, needs also an encouragement now and again. And in the world's calendar, this is a month when, in all manner of ways, you can be able to appreciate your minister, your pastor, your reverend, and it's a good thing. And we'll be having today a great conversation here. Because throughout the week we'll also be trying to understand, talking to different ministers to understand their lives, to understand their high points, to understand their lowly points, to understand what their thoughts are concerning different things, even about tradition, about innovation, about contemporary issues. We just want to get to the mind of the minister this week. And thanks for joining us. Send us your views, send us your thoughts on our social media pages. We'll be glad to hear what you have to say. And on this program this Monday, talking about Pastor Clergy Appreciation, we will be talking about memorable moments in the lives of our ministers, because sometimes you have bad days and sometimes you have really, really good days. And it's just good for us to understand, what does a good day look like in the life of a minister? And we are so glad to be joined by two servants of the Lord. We are glad to be joined by Reverend Elias Agola. We are happy to have you on this program today. Welcome. We are also happy to be joined by Reverend Francis Njoroge. Happy to have you also on this program on this Clergy Appreciation Week.
Thank you very much.
And thank you for making time. And we were also supposed to be joined on this program by Reverend Miriam Juguna, who is not feeling well this evening. And so we send our prayer of grace and healing to her as she's not able to join us, but we know that she'll be well in the name of the Lord.
Amen.
Amen.
Well, welcome.
Thank you.
You guys look appreciated.
Thank you.
You know, it seems like Clergy Appreciation is not that. Yes, it's a month and maybe there's a day, but you already look like you're glowing ministers and look appreciated. But just know you a little bit by just checking fast with Reverend Francis Njoroge and also Reverend Agola. Just tell us about when you started your ministry. Like, how long have you been in ordained ministry? I'm sure that ministry has been a long journey for you, but ordained ministry, how long has that been? And also tell us one thing that you wish you had been told before you joined ministry. Reverend Francis.
Thank you very much. The journey to the ministry started a long time ago, but when it came to the ordained ministry, this is my 34th year, because I joined the ordained ministry in 1988. And I want to thank God, because I started a journey that I am still moving on. And I can see the ministry is very sweet. The ministry is very good. It has got ups and downs, but in everything, the many good things that you get in the ministry surpasses maybe those which you feel that they were not the best, and you would say that this is very nice. And one of the things that maybe one would wish before you came to the ministry that you would have known, outside there, people would think that when it comes to being a minister of the word, yours is only to read the Bible and interpret it, full stop. But once you get into the ministry, you find that ministry is a very, very huge and kind of complicated entity that you spread this one, another one comes, another one comes, another one comes, and therefore it is not only the ministry of the word, but you also have the social, the economic, and all facets of life. And the minister is involved into all that.
Okay. You come in the ministry thinking the pulpit, only to find there are many other things that go along with the ministry, and thanks for sharing that. And those are many years of ministry, and we thank God for His grace upon your life.
Thank you.
Reverend Agola.
Yes, thank you, and good evening, viewers. I'm delighted to be here today and happy to share my experience as a minister in this Clergy Appreciation Week and month. I think the question you asked was, how long have I been ordained? I was ordained in 1999, and that was January 17th. And since that time, now it is 23 years of active service, uninterrupted service. And I really have enjoyed the ministry. There comes a time again when I endure the ministry, but mostly I've been enjoying
Let's
the
do with
ministry.
enjoyment.
Today I'm here to share when I've enjoyed the ministry. And I know I will have time to share a lot. What I wish I was told when I was joining the ministry is that I will remain a student. There isn't a time that I don't find myself studying to become a minister, because the challenges of becoming a minister requires that I remain a student. So I wish I was told that when I was joining, that I will be a student every time. But I'm happy that the ministry has been fulfilling, because I didn't join the ministry because I was pushed to join. I joined the ministry because I have a call. Thank you.
All right, great. And I mean, just learning that you need to be a learner, like throughout your life. Because sometimes people see you as a master. People see you as one who is really grounded, one who knows a lot. But deep down in your heart, you know that
you have some
every moment is a learning moment.
Yes,
correct.
And I think that those are perspectives that are very important for us to just know about a minister's life. And you know, a minister has different kinds of days, I'm sure, right? But maybe Reverend Francis, you can tell us about what a typical day is like. A typical day in your life as a minister.
The days of a minister, each and every day is different. It is dictated by the needs that come your way. Well, we do kind of planning, because planning again is very, very important. But in many, many occasions you find that you might not be following the plans, because as the needs comes in the parish, it depends with where you are working. As a parish minister, I always make arrangements for the days in a week. But the day that I know that I'll meet my people, mostly the Wednesday where I am in the office, and that is the day when I'm expecting that I'll be able to meet many of the needs of the people, because we'll be coming either with appointments or without appointments. But once you start the day, then we cannot say that the day will go as you had planned. Sometimes it is dictated by the kind of needs that come your way. And one of the things is that the day, every day with the minister is a praying day. Ragoras talked about the running. But the day always starts with prayers, but then it ends with prayers. And in between, a lot of prayers. Praying for self, but also there are times when you are praying for your members. Those who present to you physically, and they come and present their needs. And you really feel that these needs, take it to God in prayer. And that is one of the duties that we have always accorded by the parish and even by the presbytery. So it is you interceding for your members, you interceding for the families represented or those who are not represented, but it is your duty. And therefore, for a typical day or a day in the office, I would say that starting from 8 or earlier than that, because again, for the minister, you might want to say 8 to 5. That is impossible, because there are even times when you have some engagement, but even the engagement time comes even before you have finished whatever was there. But because it is very critical, you feel that I cannot leave this for that other one. So with me, I would say that there is no one good plan for a good day of a minister. But we do plan, but then the Lord will always bring other things in life, and you will be able to now to settle. And the day starts from morning, and it might go even right at night, depending on the kind of work that you have.
Okay. You know, it's interesting what you say about the day beginning with prayer and ending with prayer.
Yes.
And a lot of prayer in between, you know.
Yes.
I mean, that's quite interesting when you think about it. And let's hear from you, Arvind Agola.
Yeah, it's not easy to say we have a typical day that looks like this, because a minister waking up early in the morning, as Reverend Njoroge says, begins with the prayers, continues in prayer, and will end in prayer. But you cannot say you will start from this to this to this to this to this. Because even if you had planned that you are going to go into the office to be there, to meet the members, you may be there and you find that you are needed somewhere else, which is more important. Well, some people would say more conflicting priority that comes within the day. A member has had an accident, you are supposed to rush there. From there you go again to maybe to the hospital to see another one, and then you come back, you hear somebody else also come, needs some counseling or some prayers. It's not easy to say this is how the minister's day will look like, but we can always say that there is a day when the minister purposes to meet his congregants, maybe in the office, mostly in the office. A day when, as Reverend Njoroge puts it, you may have appointments or you may not have appointments. But sometimes again, as ministers, you may not be strict. It is a stated day, but it is not a strict day. You cannot say it must be on Wednesday. It must be on Tuesday. Because if you say it must be on such and such a day, again, it may also mean that if you are not going to be there this week and the other week, then these people will not see you. So at least the minister has to be a person who is flexible and can meet the members as and when sometimes they need him. But again, the members should also know that the minister is also a person and may not see them at will. So that when you want to meet the minister just now, you will have to. There are days when you may not get them because maybe we are in another meeting, maybe the presbytery meeting or other meetings. But the minister typically must be available for the membership, must be available to minister to the needs of the members.
All right.
Yes.
You know, when you're speaking, I'm just wondering about just the fact that, let's say, the day that you have planned to see people, you never know what will walk through the door.
No.
You never know the issue that you're going to face. You don't get a briefing the day before, and you're told, you know, like tomorrow you'll be meeting a person with this issue, you'll be meeting a person with this matter, and so, you know, in your mind you are able to prepare yourself. But I mean, Reverend Njoroge, how do you put how do you position your mind and your heart to meet, to just be open about what will come through the door?
One of the things that a minister should have all through, preparation is very, very important. To have skills, again, is very, very important. Skills of many kinds, variety. And again, as I said, you must always be updated on what is happening. I say there are many areas, there are many facets of life. Today, we have got a lot of needs coming or emanating from economy. Maybe economy of the land, how it is, whether good or bad. There are areas of social life, and you find that is disturbing a lot of people, and even the minister themselves. You have got areas, all the areas, and therefore, as a minister, you must be prepared in such a way that any challenge coming, any needs coming, you will be able to try and tackle it. But we also have areas where we do refer, because you are not a jack of all trades as a minister, and therefore you might find a need, maybe a need that is beyond maybe your skills, maybe beyond your knowledge when it comes to professionalism. And therefore, even in some areas of counseling, we have referred. I personally have referred to maybe professionals to do this and that and that. And we also want to remember, and it's always good to acknowledge, that sometimes issues come to you when you also have your own issues. Because a minister is a wounded soldier. Sometimes you are wounded, and there are some people who need your assistance. And you see, some of these, like that time, what you need to do is you can refer. And throughout my life as a minister, I've come to understand and acknowledge that there are some members who would not want to go to any other person other than you. They want to hear from you. They want to be prayed by you. They want to be... So, as you understand those things, you give the first aid, and then if there is anything that you would want to, you can refer to any professional, deep counseling and all that. And I think you want to do things that you satisfy your members.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's quite an interesting place for the pastor to be in, because whatever comes through the door, you have to receive it with kindness, right?
Yeah. Yes.
And again, in terms of your day, Reverend Ogola, are there some musts, things you must do every single day? Whether it is a day to see the members, whether it's a day for meetings, whether it's a day for, are there some musts for you that every day as a minister, I must do this without fail?
Well, yes, before I get to that, I would add to what Reverend Njoroge said, that when you open the door of your office on an office day, you never know who will come in. And they may come in with heavy stuff that you are not able to handle. Sometimes, again, it calls for signposting, where you have to refer them to some other more qualified people than you. And for you to have that ability to refer, it means you have to accept that there are some things you cannot handle. There are some things that you are not more skilled in, and you need a more skilled person maybe it is an issue that requires another professional. And sometimes we think of counseling when it is not counseling. It is, in essence, mediation. Yeah. And confusing mediation and counseling sometimes is very, very, very easy. And many ministers confuse counseling and mediation. I may not explain that now, but what I wanted to say is that yes, if somebody came in and thought it was counseling, maybe it is an issue of mediation, and therefore it is better to admit to yourself, not to that person, that you are not able to handle this. You need somebody with a skill that will help this person better. Yes.
And you see what? Let's stay with that a little bit.
Yeah.
Because when the member or the parishioner hears that the pastor refers, a person to another professional, how does that sit with the idea that the pastor is the ultimate, the priest is the ultimate help? How does that look like?
It's not. I know it's not going to augur well, because it's like you are deflating yourself and showing this person that coming to you is like coming to a helpless person. A helpless person coming to another helpless person. But this referral or signposting that we are talking about here is to be done in a clever way. You do it in a clever way. Either you as the pastor seeks to learn more about what this person needs to be helped in, or you look for a better way of communicating this to them, so that you may start with them for some time, and then later you now say, now you see, after I've worked with you for this long, then it means again there is a professional that can help you from now. That you have secured your ground, but at the same time you have also admitted in a clever way that this person needs more help, which you are admitting that you cannot give, and you have already made them aware that it is not it's not bad to say I don't know. Yeah.
Okay, let's stay with that, because I think this is an interesting part, Reverend Francis, because there's a pastor who may feel that the priest is the ultimate. I'm custodian. I'm the custodian of the fullness of wisdom and the fullness of power. Now, what did you say to a minister who feels that way, that they are all in all?
I would say we may feel that way, especially when you are living courage and you are getting into the ordination. You feel like, I've done it all.
I've arrived.
I've got it. But as we put it in the first place, this is a learning event. It's a learning on a daily basis. Every day there is a new thing to learn, and therefore there is no one time that you will say, yes, I've got enough. Here I think we are not saying that you not attend to any person coming your way. You will attend, but there are some issues that need more, and therefore even when we are talking about the referral, sometimes it is you get deep into books, you get to some consultations. Sometimes you want to know more from a professional that you know. You might not even transfer the person to somebody else. You may do it, but you want to dig deeper and then have sufficient staff that will help that person. And we have done that in many, many occasions. But whoever comes through that door feels that this is the place where I'll get my help. And if help is not coming from there, that's why I said ministers are wounded soldiers, because sometimes there are some things that are eating them within, but then they are supposed to give help to the need that has come. So you will not say that, no, I'm not able to do that. No. First of all, the prayer. We have been given a blank check. Take it to God in prayer. So the first thing, even before you do anything else, even before you know why that person has come, wherever you get into prayer, prayer relieves quite a number of other things. And therefore the approach that you give in the first place, that one will set the motion of how you are going to help the case in front of you for the first time, and then you know how much you give it in future. Maybe tomorrow, another day, many appointments, until you come to a point where when you say, I think we are okay. Or the person himself or herself will come and say, I feel helped. And that is a satisfaction, especially to the ministers. Whenever that happens.
I think prayer has come in as a must.
Yeah, that one is a must.
Must that colors, a minister's life and day. And when I go, other musts for you, other musts that you can say this is a must every single day.
Yes, other must for me is sermon preparation. That for me is very key. And my sermon, for example, I prepare sermon every day. Meaning, if I am to preach a sermon on Sunday, I start preparing that sermon immediately after the last sermon. And it is not one sermon, several sermons. Because, for example, people like us who are in one congregation or parish, you can't afford to repeat a sermon. Not like the other ministers who are in more than 10 congregations. You can go around with one sermon. But if you are in one congregation, you can't afford to repeat a sermon. So every day is a sermon preparation day. Because people are looking for a new message from their minister any time they meet. And in most of these town churches, it's like every evening you have a new group that you are you ministering to, and you can't afford to repeat another sermon. So what happens is that every day is a day when you have to set some time to prepare a sermon.
So it's like there has to be an engagement with Scripture every single day. And when you are engaging with Scripture, you also have in mind the flock,
congregation,
right? And very important also to hear that humility, is compulsory, because there are people you meet, and you find that you really have to refer. So humility is a big quality in this ministry. But let's just also flip it a little bit, Reverend Francis. Are there days when you hope that people will come in, right? But no one comes in.
They don't come.
They don't come. And you wonder, what's going on? Maybe you call up a few people, please come to the office, because are there days like that when you're anxious because no one is coming?
First of all, let me add to what Agora said, that Sunday is also important in the life of the minister, because we are not preparing sermons only for Sunday. Minister is engaged in many interactions with the people, whether in the parish, outside the parish, in our meetings and everything. And in all this, there is always an opening word. In the Presbyterian Church, the central thing in the life of the PCA Church is the word. And therefore, word should always be spoken everywhere. And therefore, studying to understand, preparing to have the word that is relevant to a particular group, word that is relevant to a meeting, that a word which is relevant to whatever you are addressing is very, very important. So I think one of the must is that that preparations, interacting with the Bible, reading the Bible every day, every time, and understanding it is very, very important.
Okay.
To the question of whether there are days when you are in the office, you expected some people to come, they are not coming. But that is, it might be a plus to the minister, because the minister will never be idle at any one time. You are in the office, and even when you are waiting, you are still working, because you have a lot in the parish. There are many times when you are in the office and there is nobody who is knocking the door. Maybe unless you had an appointment. But there are even also days where you had not planned. You have gone into the office and you are not planning to see people, but then immediately you open the door, they are lining up.
Let's engage that, because here is a day, Reverend Gola, when you did not expect people, but now they've come. I want you to tell us the feeling. Do you feel disrupted? Do you feel disappointed? Do you feel interrupted? Or do you feel, hey, go, you people come on in? Are there times you feel like, today was not a day when I was hoping to see anyone? Are there days you get feelings like that?
Well, ministers are also human beings, and sometimes maybe you are just passing by the office. You are not intending to stay in the office, or even to meet other people, the congregants. But here they are, they have come. What do you do? I've never sent anybody away.
No, before you can't send anyone. We just want to deal with the feeling.
Well,
what do you feel? Do you feel glad and open, or do you feel like, oh, I want to just finish with these people as quickly as possible because they have disrupted me? Or do you? Let's stay with the feeling.
Yeah, this feeling is a mix. It's a mix of the feeling. There are times when you feel disrupted, and you feel I was just passing by. I wanted to go, and here they are. So I feel like, oh, what do I do now? But I don't think I needed to see them. So that feeling is there. But sometimes again you say, oh, I cannot just say that these people are disrupting me. For them to come, it is a divine connection. Maybe there was something they were going through, and they thought they should just see their minister. But again, when you meet them, you find out that you needed to meet with them. They needed to find you, and you are like, what if I didn't come today? What would have happened to this person?
Okay.
Because everyone comes with a different issue, and some issues are very heavy on them, and you are like, oh, initially you thought I'm disrupted, but now you think something has happened.
Okay.
It was in a divine connection that I saw them today. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
The feeling.
Yes, I can add to the question of yes, I didn't expect, or I went to the office and I was not prepared for seeing people, but here they are. The life of a minister is very, very much interesting. It is interesting in such a way that he is prepared always, and he needs to be prepared always. And a minister is a person who will never, not many times that you give excuses. Yes, there is a meeting, but then there is a need here, which is very, very acute and very urgent. So, would you prefer to go to the meeting and then leave the case as it is? What I need to do, and what I have done in many cases, is better if I can call my people and tell them, let's wait for 5 minutes or 10 minutes or 20 minutes, then I attend to this issue. So there might be a feeling of interruption, but there is also a feeling that maybe this is the person he or she was not able to see or to have time on Wednesday when I was in the office, but on Thursday or Friday, here is a person needy, and you need to attend to that need. And therefore, it's a way that the minister will always look into all times are almost equal to him or her. That this is an issue, wait, see whether it is something that can be postponed, and which is when you weigh that, I think a minister should always look into the issues that are coming his way. And as I had said, there are issues that are just one time and you finish it.
Okay.
But there are others which progressively you attend. Today, tomorrow, another day, maybe it will take a month even before you say, oh, we have done something.
Okay.
So it's a matter of weigh and see which is for now and which can wait.
Okay.
Yes.
I know that we are just about to go for a break, and when we come back from the break, what we'll do is that we'll hear what a happy day is like. And we also want to hear specific stories that are memorable for you, that I remember this story and I remember this experience. But before we go for the break, I want to ask you, and be honest, Reverend Akola, do you feel appreciated for your work?
Well, yes, I feel I'm appreciated. Wherever I've worked as a minister, I feel that the people of God appreciate my work. Yes, I've been in several places. I've been in mission areas. I started in Peketoni. I went to Kuria. I went to Kangundo. I went to Loresho, Police College. These are areas that I've worked in. I went to Moja, to Limuru, Matenjwa. I'm now in Kahawa West, and I feel appreciated. When you look at the way people, interact with you and they refer to you as their minister, I feel appreciated. And I want to demystify what people may think, that being appreciated is being given money. Being appreciated is being given some goodies. I believe that when people receive you as their minister and they receive the gospel and they see you as a man of God, that is appreciation enough. And so I feel very much honored to have been a minister in all these places, and everywhere I've been, I feel that I'm appreciated enough.
Okay. Your smile tells it.
Yeah.
And I can see Reverend Francis also is smiling as well. Do you feel appreciated for your work?
Sure. And the first place that I get appreciation is my family. And we have worked with my family very well in times of ups and downs in the ministry. And they do appreciate what I do. I have been appreciated in the many parishes that I have been. My first appointment was in Masailand, and I liked the area so much, and they do appreciate. Even today we have interaction with them, even after the 34 years. There are some of them who we still meet and we have fellowship. I remember there was a time when I worked in Mathare. Mathare is now no more. Now it was subdivided, and then it is no more. A time when you could do some work and then you feel, yes, you are appreciated by the people. They feel they have a minister, and they have a lot of concern for you. And not only, wherever you are, right now I'm in Nairobi East, and I'm in Kayore. Kayore is feared by many. But that is the best place. The best place. Of all the places that I've worked, Kayore is one of the best. It has got a lot of work and different kind of people, but the best. It will grow you spiritually. It will grow you even emotionally. It will grow you in many, many areas. but I can tell you fully today that I feel appreciated. Appreciated by those parishes, the presbytery, and I feel also appreciated by the church that I serve. Many a times you hear just a call from the moderator of the General Assembly just to greet you. What does that tell you? Not telling you anything else, but we are together, move on. The Secretary General, the Deputy, all of them. Then you feel, yes, I am appreciated. And we will call upon all those people who have their ministers. Appreciate your ministers, not necessarily to give them presents or money or whatever, but when they feel that they are owned, they are appreciated, they give them impetus to move on. And I've always found impetus to face tomorrow, to go the next day, just because of that appreciation.
All right.
Yes.
Great. And it's been 34 years.
Yes, that's 4 years.
23 years.
23 years.
And when you look at, when you cut across and look at the average, you feel that you appreciate it.
Yes.
And this is a great month, viewers. Clergy Appreciation Month, and when we come back, we'll be wanting to hear from Reverend Agola and also Reverend Francis. I mean, what's one day when they go home and they feel this is a good day, this is a good day. Which day is that? And we also want to hear stories about their ministry that are so memorable, positive stories. And you want to stay with us here on Clergy TV, Clergy Appreciation Month Monday program. We'll take a short break. We'll be right back.
Are you looking to grow your business? Clergy TV offers you a variety of advertising opportunities to suit your budget. Advertise with us today and reach your potential customers countrywide. For more information, email us on sales@clergytv.org or call 011 00 90 647.
Again, viewer, welcome to this edition of the Clergy Appreciation Week, and we are happy to be joined by Reverend Agola and also Reverend Francis, and we are talking about the life of a minister and just getting to the mind of the minister, getting to their heart as well, to just know what's going on there. And it's such a good thing to hear that these ministers who are here with us on this program actually do feel appreciated. And when a minister feels appreciated, then chances are that they'll serve better, they will serve stronger, they will be more passionate about the ministry that we actually all need. And let's come back to you, Reverend Agola, about a day that you go home. Though it's been long, though it's been tiring, you go home feeling that was a good day. That was a good day. What makes such a day?
Well, there are two ministries that I feel called to. And one is the ministry to the bereaved. Whenever I walk with a family during the bereavement, and especially the day of the burial, and I walk with them from morning to the time when we are buried, and I feel that I've ministered to that family. I go home very happy. Although it can be very tiring, but I feel that I've done what I was supposed to do. And for me, it doesn't matter whether I'm going to have a burial today or tomorrow, but if I walk with these people and when I minister to these families, I go home happy and say I have made it. And I feel I have done what I was supposed to do.
Isn't it interesting that it's a very difficult day? I think for a minister, a day dealing with a bereaved family, it's a very difficult day. It's one of the most difficult days. But for you, you go home, it's the most fulfilling.
It is most interesting that this person needed me that time. That family needed me that time more than any other person that day. So for me, I feel that I have served God's purpose in this family. And I feel like that is what I was called to do, and especially to that family. That's one. Okay. The other day that I go home very happy is when I've done some training, some leadership training. I like training people. So when I have trained leaders, I've trained church members, and sometimes I even train from the pulpit. Sometimes I call it catechism from the pulpit. And when I've handled a topic from the pulpit, I go home very, very, very happy and fulfilled. And so such are some of the days that I really feel I've done something.
And isn't it interesting also that when we talk about training, it's a day when you've been pouring wisdom, your insights to others. You've been giving. And when you go home, you feel, sometimes you'd expect when you've been receiving, that's when you feel they have a happy day, right? But you've been giving. You've been walking the bereaved, and those are fulfilling days for you.
And when I train, I find time again to go and look for more. Remember, I said that I wish I was told I'm going to be a learner throughout. So when I train, I feel I have given, then I'm empty. I need also to go and learn more so that I can continue, training more and giving more, and that really is very fulfilling for me.
And you're smiling as you talk about that. How a fulfilling day for you.
It's not very easy to know when you are fulfilled, but one of the things I would say is there is what the Lord has given me, and it is not mine, but it is that which I will need to share. So wherever I share my heart with my congregationers, whether it is the circle of the elders, whether it is the leaders, whether it is the membership, wherever we are, and I feel that what I had has been shared, there is somebody else who knows something else that they did not know, but it has come from me, whether it is in leadership, whether it is in the teaching. I feel satisfied when I am able to touch the life of somebody else in way of giving out what I have. Again, if I plan, when you do the planning, and then you see these things being fulfilled, you are achieving. It's very fulfilling. You go home and you say, yes, it is true. I deal with membership in the church, and as I said, that I feel like the way I appreciate the people in Kayore, I'm sure that is how they have appreciated me in many, many ways. There are many times when we share with them, and there are a lot of needs around there. So we take a specific issue and we want to deal with this issue. And sometimes it's not only me, but I may walk around, call the chief of the area, and maybe take the administration of the area, call about the people, the political leaders in the area, and we see that we have actually achieved something for the community in that area, especially at this particular time when we are talking about hunger, and you feel that you have satisfied, you have been able to feed 3 or 4 families around, not necessarily families coming from the Presbyterian Church, but within the community. I feel fulfilled. I feel, yes, this is what I've been called for. There are many other times when in the projects, I'm one of those people who like physical development. And when it comes to physical development, whether it is a school, whether it is a church, whether it is any project within, and I can see it growing. One step in growth satisfies me. Even when I go home, and even my family would ask, you look, because yes, there is an achievement somewhere in the parish, in the community. Physical development is a part of me, and also the leadership, as Agora said, giving what I have, because it will help me again to go and dig deep, so that I can also have and also give again. So I give it in way of training, in way of preaching. Wherever I am doing some preaching, I do a lot of study. I'll go deep because I want to prepare myself fully, whether it is in the meetings, whether it is in the preaching or wherever. And when that goes, and I can see people coming to the Lord. You know, when the Great Commission, go ye to the whole world and do 1, 2, 3. When I see 1, 2, 3, 4 on a Sunday, and even before you have a call to altar call, you find people coming to Jesus. To me, it is very fulfilling, and I have enjoyed such moments. They are very good.
Yeah, it's such a good thing just to learn that you enjoy giving, and you enjoy to see growth, you know, in others. Quite interesting things there in terms of the things that give us a good day. You know, it's not how much you've gained, but it's how much you've given and how that giving has actually transformed our life, and just amazing things. And I think it's good for us to maybe to look at our memories now, Reverend Agola. Maybe a story. I mean, not a parable, you know, but a real experience you've had, and you can say, for me, this is really memorable. I mean, it's been 23 years.
Yeah.
I mean, you could have thousands, thousands and hundreds of stories, but we just want maybe you to share with us one or two. I'll start with one, right? A memorable ministry experience that for as long as, you'll be in ministry, you will remember.
Well, I'll come to that. Allow me to say something again that has been more fulfilling. Wherever I go to a parish, I've realized that in every parish where I've served, there is some work, physical development that is waiting. When I went to Mpeketoni, we started constructing a church. And by the time I was leaving, the church was up to closer to completion. When I went to Kuria, again we bought a plot there and we started constructing the manse. We constructed the manse until it was completed. And then we also bought a land for the church. Then I went to Kangundo. Just the other day, the moderator of the presbytery dedicated a church that he started building there, in Sianam. And I went to Loresho. This Sunday, the church that we did there in Nyari is being rededicated because it was expanded. It is now a parish. And Loresho, if you go there, you will find a lot of developments that were done. You go to Police College, we had to extend the chapel because the students were very happy to come to that chapel. Many places. If you remember, again, we were I was in Joshua Matenjwa. I found that we needed some new seats. We bought seats, the likes of the parliament seats. And the people are happy there. So in Kahawa West, where we are now, the Lord is also doing a lot through my leadership there. So my leadership has been also a source of fulfillment for me. That as I continue to lead, then I find that the Lord is using that leadership.
Your leadership is fruitful.
Is fruitful. So one memorable thing is when I was the moderator of Milimani Presbytery. I know you were in St. Andrews that time. Having a category A of 68 people, that was like a whole church. The one thing that I remember is the way I would consult with the former moderator, past moderator Gatu, the late Gatu, and the former Deputy Secretary General Dr. Mungereria, and the former past moderator George Wanjao. That for me is memorable. Just being there as a moderator of that presbytery, and in my presbytery having two past moderators, and the Lord helping me to be consulting with them. They sharpened my leadership. For me, that is key. That it is not you as a minister who is the moderator and playing know-it-all. It is an opportunity for you to consult with other people so that you can sharpen your leadership skills. That for me is very memorable because I remember now serving in that presbytery as a moderator for 3 years, and there is no day I did things without consultation. They would advise me, but the decision was left to me, and the decisions were informed by the kind of consultation I did. I remember being under some guidance of Reverend Dr. Kimani Chege. I would sneak and ask him, to just consult with him, and then I would also sneak and consult with other ministers, senior ministers who are there. For a minister to perform, they need two types of people in their lives. One, the people they can trust that they are able to consult with, and two, an accountability partner, somebody who will look at you in the eye and tell you, this one, you are not doing it right. I'm not talking of a friend, and I'm not talking of a spouse. I'm talking of an accountability partner, somebody who can face you and tell you you are not doing it right. Many people would clap for you, many people would just tell you it is okay, even when they know it is not okay. So what I remember most is that opportunity I had to serve in that presbytery.
And to have past moderators in your team,
my team
of wisdom, right?
Of wisdom.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll come to you again for another memory.
Yeah.
Reverend Francis.
I have got very many memorable occasions in my life as a minister. But let me just state a few. The one I can remember, the first one, is when I was given a post from Masailand to the city in Mathare. And I felt I had been in Mathare before, so I thought this is a very difficult parish. And by then I was young, a year married or two. Then I thought this is not the place that I would go. So I went to my moderator, by then Reverend Dr. Wajau, the very reverend today, and I told him I don't feel like going to. And to Mathare, and what he told me has always ringered in my mind. Because he read me a verse in the Bible that says, David said, I was young, today I am old, I have never seen a righteous person left by the Lord. And he told me, go to that place that the Lord has called you. And probably in the near future you will be changing what is written in this Bible. If he disappoint you when you go to Mathare, or leave you or forsake you. But he told me, I will be with you. And surely it's a memorable time because I just felt, let me go. And by the time I was going to Mathare, my wife was not with me. We were married for only 1 month and she went to America. Newly married. So I was going to Mathare alone. And I remember the moderator could call me almost on a daily basis, ask me, how is it? Just that word. Sometimes he could pass through there and say, I was just coming to say hi, nothing else. And before 1 year was over, I was confident that this is the place that the Lord wanted me to work. And for your information, I worked in Mathare Parish for 11 good years without any interruption. And it gave me a lot of remembrance, because that is where I got my 3 children. They were born there. Wherever I tell them, go to Yaushago, they come to Mathare. That is where they were born. I still remember that, and it's very, very important. Again, when I went to that place in Mathare and I was living in Isli, that is where I met even Ogora.
Yes.
When he was a youth member.
In 1992.
And many others who made my place a station in Nairobi. Sometimes you could find even fatter people in the house. I don't know how we managed, but we managed. But it helped me even to know the PCA in many, many diverse areas, because those who are coming from Mombasa, they will give me experiences from Mombasa. Those who are coming from Western, they will give me experiences even when I have not gone there. So that one is another good memory that is in my life. But I also always remember in 1989 when I started 2 congregations. And one of the congregation I started in a police post, Dani, Kasarani police station. And we went there, we just asked, and the boss who was there said, why not, let's start. And we started. That was when Kebene was in Kiganjo, and he assisted, and we started. And one time, after about 1 or 2 years, then there were influx of a lot of soldiers who came from Kiganjo, so that our small house that we are using in Kasarani police station was used up. And it was on a Saturday, and on Sunday I am giving Holy Communion. But the good soldiers there did something that I'll never forget. They said, Reverend will come into the canteen. And they took the beer bottles, the beer boxes, and they made a very good table, upper table. And they laid that big kitaba inaandikwa bia ni bora. It is on top of the table. And when I came, the influx of people, but we have prepared your place. And I went to that place, and my elders say, we may not give Holy Communion today. But I told them, no, we will do the Holy Communion. You have your tablecloth, just put it over whatever is here. And we took our Holy Communion, and everything else is followed. And that time, we were able to acquire, to gain on our side as members from that particular group. We were able to win 3 souls from the police fraternity, who are even today. One of them is a dear deacon. I cannot tell about the others, but I know one who is still in Nairobi North. But that was a memorable time that I cannot ever forget.
Okay, it's quite memorable. I think I'll also remember it.
Yes.
Even after this program, I remember that. One more memory, Reverend Okola.
Well, one more memory. I have several of them.
Let me
say this one.
Yeah.
When I went for studies in the UK, I was approached by a church that had split from the PCA UK outreach, and they asked me to minister to them. I told them that I'm not going to be your full-time minister, because I came here to study. But God has also called me to serve. So as and when I'll be available, I will have you as my congregationers. Then the day we agreed that I'm going to be their minister, it was announced that Corona has struck So I was like, okay, I'm in Belfast, the bigger team is in London. Then my question was, what do I do? So what I remember, and which is so memorable for me, is how we decided to use Zoom for our meetings. So everything was through Zoom. But we appeared as if we were in the same locality, because every time we would meet, we would fellowship together via Zoom. We made decisions via Zoom. And one of such memorable decisions that we made was to apply for what is called the sponsor license. Sponsor license is the license that allows a church to ask for expatriates from outside the country. So that church in UK has now the sponsor license that allows them to get ministers from Kenya to go and serve in the UK. And immediately we were given that, then we asked Reverend Munyeroku to travel to the UK to go and become the minister there. I really remember that very, very vividly, that the ministry does not mean that you have to be there physically meeting. In the ministry, you can have other avenues of meeting. You can use technology even to meet and have a vibrant church. That channel is still there up to today, and it is working. So when I came back to Kenya and became a minister in Kahawa West, we have a Zoom meeting that attracts many people every Friday, just from that kind of a Zoom platform that I developed when I was out there. And that reminds me that what is applicable outside Kenya can be applicable in Kenya, provided a minister wants to be innovative in his approach to the ministry.
You know, when you mention innovation and Corona and what was birthed then, at a time when you were just about to physically be present for this congregation, but then Corona could have stopped you, but what was born then continues to this day. Quite memorable. Now,
I want to give another one in mission.
You know, it's interesting, Reverend Francis, because time is running out. Memories are so many, but allow me to just ask you this question. And I know you wanted to give another illustration, another memory, but just let me ask you this one, because when sometimes a minister is successful, when you go home happy, when you have a reputation of being a mover, you know, as a minister, as a clergy person, how do you deal with pride? How do you make sure pride does not get into your head?
Thank you very much. I would say that such can happen. But with me, I have always attributed everything to the Lord. Otherwise, if I don't do that, I might feel like it's my achievement. I have done it. And it might go overboard. So I always attribute the many things that happen in my life and in the life of the ministry that I serve always to the Lord. And I always say, yes, it is true that fame, and it comes, and you are famous in many ways when it comes to leadership, wherever we have served, and people will talk well of you, but not forget that it is God that has enabled you. It is the Lord who is taking you to those steps. As I cried the lander, and I've done that. I've cried the ladder because I started as a minister. I've been in the ministry and I've been a moderator of many presbyteries, even the Great Nairobi. I've been to the head office as the Deputy Secretary General. But all this is because of God,
Okay, keep
not me. So the central figure to be attributed or given all this glory and honor and all that is not me.
It is God.
It's God, and it should continue that way.
Amen.
Yes.
Even the call of pride.
Thank you. Pride. Pride comes when we look for fame, and when we look for popularity. But when we realize that God has called us into the ministry of greatness and the ministry of magnifying and glorifying His name, then we say Nimwadani. Wherever I have served, my other name is Nimwadani. Because when you say I have done it, it is not me, it is the Lord. And realizing that the Lord has enabled us to get to where we are, and looking back and seeing where we have come from, then we can only say it is the Lord. There are instances where, as individuals, as human beings, sometimes we may think that it is us who have done it. But the truth of the matter is, the Lord has enabled us to do it. Even when you go to a parish, for example, and you find that it was down, but as you get in, it is getting up, it is not you. And the other minister that was there did their bit. It is you are only doing your bit, but the other minister did their bit. So it is not what you have or what you can do, but it is what God has enabled you to do.
All right.
So whatever achievements we have in the ministry, we just need to give glory to God and be humble enough.
All right. Amazing. Thank you so much, Reverend Agola, for being on this special program on CAC TV on Clergy Appreciation Week. Thank you for your insights and for sharing your heart and your mind. Reverend Francis Njoroge, thank you also for sharing your story and just pouring out your mind and your heart. And our viewers definitely have had a different side of the minister they don't usually see. And of course, we'll remember that story of the crates of beer and the cloth of Holy Communion on top. And again, do this in remembrance. Amazing. And the way we've ended the program, I think it's reason it's both of you agree that it's not to us, but to God be the glory. Viewer, thank you so much for being part of this program this evening. Programs throughout this week, Clergy Appreciation Week, and in as many ways as you're inspired, stop by your minister and just appreciate them for the ministry that they bring to us, to the glory of God, and whatever they bring to us. Again, we say not to us, but to the Lord be the glory.
Amen.
Thank you for watching.
Amen.
God bless.
Thank you.